Hello and welcome. My name is Dr. Williams. I will be your instructor for this online course. And for this online course, you're going to be taking general biology. So that's biology 111 here at FevelTech Community College. In this video, I'm just going to give you a basic introduction about me, kind of tell you who your instructor is, what you can generally expect from the course, and then just give you kind of a first day understanding of what you really need to do for the first day of class for this course. Now, me, who am I? Like I said, my name's Dr. Williams. This is my first year teaching at FevelTech. I am born and raised from Sampson County, North Carolina, so 30 minutes east of Fayetteville. I grew up in a town called Roseboro. You may be familiar with it, you may not. I grew up hunting and fishing. I really love the outdoors. I kind of spent a lot of time outside, but I also like video games. So I grew up playing, PlayStation 1, Nintendo 64, all that good stuff in my spare time. With the love of outdoors, that kind of led me to want to become a scientist, to get my degree in biology, to study animals, and really just gain an understanding of the world around us. And so after I graduated high school, I went and got my bachelor's degree in biology at UNC Wilmington. Took about a year off to kind of figure out what I wanted to do after that. And then I went back to UNC Wilmington, where I obtained my master's degree in biology. Around the time when I was getting my master's degree, I was dating my now wife. We got married the last year in my master's degree. And during that time, I got a pretty good opportunity to obtain my PhD out in California. So I moved me and my wife and our two kids to the middle of California, pretty much a coast-to-coast move, where I went to UC Merced to get my PhD in environmental systems. That took about 5.5 years. And so after that 5.5 years, I graduated with my doctorate degree. And then I started lecturing at UC Merced for the natural sciences. And I taught courses like evolution, ecology, ecosystems of California, biodiversity and conservation. And during this time, I also was teaching as an adjunct at the community college there. So I was teaching part-time, and I taught classes like general biology for non-majors and human biology, so kind of like an introductory program for nursing students. My degrees are in biology, and my research kind of focused on mammals. So I'm really interested in mammals. Interested in how they respond to climate change, both in past and present. And so I studied a lot of the mammals in North America, built models kind of trying to predict, what mammals did when it got really cold in the past and when it got really warm, and trying to get an idea of how they respond to climate change, and use that to predict how mammals are going to respond to future climate change, because we all probably heard that that's happening. And so my interests really kind of lie in that area. And so if you're ever interested about mammals, or you got questions about, vertebrates, or, climate change in general, feel free to ask. I always enjoy talking about it. I, love to answer any questions that you have. After I got my, doctorate and I started lecturing, I had 2 more kids during that time period. So we have 4 kids total, 2 boys, 2 girls. The boys are the oldest and the youngest. The girls are the middle. And, we're really far away from my family and her family. She's also from Sampson County. And so we decided we wanted to move back to North Carolina and be closer to our parents. And so last year, which was 2021, there we go. we moved back. I got a job at the middle school that I went to teaching math and science for sixth graders, and my wife was actually teaching at the high school we went to for special ed. But I knew I wanted to stay in, you know, community college academics, and so I searched and eventually ended up landing a job at Fayetteville Tech, where I taught a summer class, taught this class over the summer, and now I'm a full-time faculty member here at Fayetteville Tech. And like I mentioned, I love the outdoors, love hunting, love fishing, love hiking. I like to garden. You know, we raise animals, so I have chickens, I have pigs. We hope to get a cow soon. So I really love everything outdoors, but like I mentioned, also love video games. I play on the PC. I play, I don't have any of the new gen consoles yet. I want to get a PS5 soon. But I play like Fortnite with my kids. Elden Ring, one of my favorite games so far this past year. So if you're familiar with that stuff, I play all kinds of games. And if you're interested in that stuff, I'd love to talk with you about that as well. Oh yeah, another thing is I'm a tabletop gaming person too. So Magic the Gathering, Dungeons and Dragons, all of that stuff. So yeah, kind of a nerd on the side, but I enjoy it, and it's really something fun to do with my kids. And so yeah, so that's all about me. That's all about your professor. I think it's really good to kind of know who your professor is, so you can relate. So you know that we're humans. We're not these scary people that you can't come to and ask questions and address any concerns that you may have in the class. And that's what I want. Any questions that you have, please come to me. Any concerns that you have, come to me with those too. And I want to work with you, and we can hopefully come to some sort of agreement or figure it out. In terms of this class, this is a general biology class, so this is kind of the first step in your science career. So this is general biology for science majors, right? So we're going to go in a little more detail in this class than what you would expect for your non-science courses. We're going to talk about all kinds of different things in science. We're going to start off talking about what's the scientific method. We'll look at cells. We'll look at animal cells versus plant cells. We'll look at cellular processes like photosynthesis and respiration. We'll look at genetics. We'll talk about evolution. We'll talk about some ecology. And so we're really going to kind of just take a tour of biology and skim the surface of this big field, which is the study of life. In this course. And then whenever you move on to general biology 2, you'll take it even further, where you'll start looking at like taxonomy, classifications, different groups of organisms, all of that stuff. And so by the time you take both of these classes, you should have a pretty good, well-rounded knowledge and understanding of kind of a general overview of science and biology in general, not science, because science is all sorts of other disciplines. But before I get off, I want to just go over one thing that you can expect on the first day of classes, and really kind of the first 2 weeks. So this is the home page that you'll see. The announcement page whenever you first log in to Canvas or Blackboard. And it gives you information about our textbook, talks about our lab manual, gives you my information. And I'm going to make a separate video going over all of the detail and like what to expect from the class, that sort of thing, and kind of give you a tour of Blackboard after this. But what I really want to focus on is this kind of first day necessities, like what you need to do on that first day. So the first one is going to really just show your participation or your attendance for the course, right? And so we have what's called this census date, and this is really the first 10% of the class, and you have to attend the class at least one time before that 10% is over in order to be counted as present in the course. And that census date for us is August 24th. Okay. If you don't show up in the course, and since this is an online course, your attendance is governed or determined by a graded activity. If you don't have a graded activity by August 24th, you'll be designated as a no-show, and then you'll be withdrawn from the class by the registrar's office. Okay. Now, there are a couple of things that you have to complete in order to get credit for that census course or for the census date. So if you will go into your assignments, okay, you'll see your Getting Started module. Okay, so you'll click on that Getting Started module. You have your first discussion board that you need to complete. You have to complete this by the census date. Okay, this discussion board is just an introduction, right? Welcoming you to the course. You can type your introduction, or you can post a video like me. I would love to see an introduction video from you all if you're comfortable doing it. If you're not, then that's fine. You know, I completely understand. But I want to get to know you all. Let your classmates get to know you, and so we can have a good semester as we go throughout the course. And so that discussion board is one assignment you need to complete for your census date. The other assignment is the census date assignment itself. So you'll click on this. It's a short quiz. You just have to answer those questions, and you'll be counted as present on the census date. Okay. The third portion is the orientation contract quiz. This is basically just saying you went through, read the syllabus, understand everything that's going to be going on in this course, and you're good with it and you're good to go for the semester. Okay, so these three assignments, the discussion board 1, the census date, and the orientation contract quiz, is what we need to have done by that census date, so by the 24th. Okay. And so that's it for this introductory video. Like I said, I'll make another video kind of walking you through Blackboard and the key areas of the course. But with that, let me know if you have any questions, if you have any concerns, and I hope we have a good semester.